What is going on, everybody, man? How are we doing? September 5th. Shout out, everybody. Some football games went down last night. Coach B-Ball having his Rogers debut, coaching for a team that is not named Woonsocket. He played last night. Shout out to him. We're waiting for WES Pennington to get up in here, but here we are, man. Injury fun game tonight. This is the last night, of injury fun weekend, I believe. I'm not sure. Any games tomorrow? Maybe I'm wrong. I've been wrong a few times. But what is going on, everybody, man? I want to thank all the people that helped make this possible, man. Absolutely. Now we're getting ready for some games tonight. We'll talk about that with Coach Pennington. Coach Pennington had a game with Burrillville last night. Two of the older coaches, in the league, respect to them. Two of the coaches that are still getting it done. But listen, check it out. If you're looking to buy a home, before you do anything, Home Smart Professionals, give them a call. See what they have going on, whether it's Rhode Island, Massachusetts. They'll get you taken care of.
Are you dreaming of the perfect home? Your dream home doesn't have to be just a dream. Whether you're looking to buy or sell, Kathy Foisey from Home Smart Professionals Real Estate is here to make it a reality. Expertise in Rhode Island and Massachusetts, Kathy is ready to guide you every step of the way. Reach out today at 401-486-6587 or email kfoisey1@gmail.com.
Ready to dominate the field? Join Beast Coast Football Factory. Led by top coach Najee Barros, we elevate your game at all levels, where we offer expert training, unique techniques and drills, affordable rates, $25 per session, $40 for two. Don't miss your chance to work with the best. Contact Beast Coast Football Factory today to schedule your session and level up your game. Beast Coast Football Factory is a proud sponsor of Can We Keep It Real podcast.
Yeah, big shout out to Najee Barrows. But if you're looking to, look for someone to train you that been to Division I, give Emerson Kilgore a call, down at 401 on the 400 block of Elmwood Avenue. But yeah, we already had some injury fun games go down. Yesterday, there were some games, some more games going down today. But yeah, it's going to be an exciting year of football. So we're going to get Coach WES Pennington. I don't know if he's in there yet. I don't see him yet, but unless he's gonna leave the camera off, but let me text him. I will see. What's going on, Coach Penn? How we doing? Nah, he must not be ready yet, so we'll give him a minute. But yeah, we got some football going on. Oh, here he goes, I wanted to say real quick, let me see if I have it here. What I noticed, my dad passed away. And, I want to continue. I really want to thank what the Baraducci family did. I think everything they did by standing by me. I think it's important to prepare yourself, right? Not to be morbid, but I think it's important to have things ready so it don't fall on your kids or fall on your family. And if you're thinking about doing that, I recommend that you go talk to Annette or Michael Baraducci. They were very good to us, and I just want to pass that message along that it's a good idea that you should be prepared so that burden does not fall on your family that really can't afford it, because that gets very, very expensive. So you should really think about that. Go sit down, talk with somebody. But yeah, so we're gonna bring Wes Pennington on. Wes, what's going on? Let me get rid of your that's the cartoon of Wes Pennington. We're gonna market that. When they put you in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
What's going on, Wes? How we doing, Coach?
Hanging in there. How you doing, Mike?
All right. It's either coach, it's pastor, it's director of Mothers Against Drunk Driving. You've been very busy with
Man
that,
of
huh?
Man of many hats. Yeah, absolutely. Just had actually a press event this morning with Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and just busy. We got our walk, annual walk coming up next week. It's September 13th at Warwick City Park. So if anybody wants to come out and walk, registration for the walk starts at 9 a.m., $25 to walk. It's for a good cause, Mothers Against Drunk Driving. So yeah, come on out. Let's fill up the city park with walkers.
Now with the $25, right? What does Mothers Against Drunk Driving end up doing with the funds that that they raise? I think people might want to know that. Maybe interested to get more people out there.
Yeah, for sure. Great question. So yeah, it's going to help with us bringing awareness about the dangers of driving while impaired. Also, our underage drinking programs that we do in all the schools in Rhode Island. Also, to help us to get better legislation to strengthen laws, and just so that another family doesn't have to go through the pain and agony of the tragedy of losing someone on the roadways due to impaired driving. It is a 100% preventable crime. It doesn't have to happen. So yeah, that's what it all goes towards. It's kind of a lot, but yeah, come on out, come to the walk. Love to have you. It's next Saturday, September 13th, Warwick City Park. Registration starts at 9 a.m. in the morning, and so that's $25 to walk.
The young man from the school that you coach at, West Warwick, Katie DeCubalis, I could keep, Olivia, a couple years ago, we lose too many young kids because of impaired drivers, so
sure.
It is a preventable crime, and I don't think it should be a social crime. I think legislation should be a lot tougher. You decide to
Absolutely.
get behind the wheel and you take a life, it should be a stiffer crime. But so definitely get out there. Warwick City Park.
The registration starts at 9 a.m. Come on out. Come introduce yourself to me. If you're there, I'll be there. And we'll one, support those that have lost loved ones due to impaired driving, and two, create awareness of this totally 100% preventable crime that happens, and happens far too often. There's far too many families grieving over a loved one that is no longer with us because someone decided to get behind the wheel of a car impaired.
Maybe we could challenge football teams to get out there and do the run. Maybe we can have coaches get out there. And it's for a good cause. I mean, we'll see how that goes. But Wizards, man. The other day I had Coach Ferraro on, and you might have seen the episode. And I told him, I said a couple of years ago, I went on that campaign that the young dogs are stepping up, and I guess I got to eat my words, because you in the Super Bowl again last season, Ferraro in the Super Bowl. You've actually been in Division II. Division III and Division IV Super Bowl in your career.
Right.
You
Yeah, been
know, I
blessed.
mean,
Been blessed, Mike. Been blessed.
so and Sandy Gorham, another great coach, over at Barrington. So maybe the old dog still got some tricks in that bag, huh?
There's something to say about an old dog. They're loyal and they'll do what you tell them to do. But the young cats, they're doing their thing, and it's important to keep young coaches coming in. Keeps the blood good. You know, but also realizing that you need the old dogs too, because there's a lot of new tricks, a lot of tricks they can teach, and a lot of things that they've learned over the years that the younger guys can glean from to just be better coaches and to understand the game a little bit better. You know what I mean? Everyone doesn't have all the answers, so we need to kind of like be able to bounce off each other in order to get a better understanding and knowledge of the game, so that we can be better at it.
Absolutely. Shout out to all the coaches, young and old.
Amen.
We need great coaches. We need to build better men.
For
I
sure.
think from what I've been seeing,
For sure.
everywhere across the board, we need to build better men.
Yeah,
So yeah.
at the end of the day, Mike, these young men aren't going to be playing high school football. They're going to graduate from high school and they're going to move on to different things. And what's going to matter is the type of man they become. And if they become one that's a hardworking, law-abiding, citizen that's contributing to the community, then as a high school football coach, you've been successful. And these are kind of some of the traits that we need to teach them. And football is a great game to teach life through.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, so we need to create better men across the state. We have all these programs. So, but yeah, we had some football last night. Injury fun weekend. Big weekend for RAIL. It sets everything off. It gets you prepared. You had Mount Hope. Sure, looks like Mount Hope shut out Moses Brown 10-0.
Wow.
Middletown has always been good. I think ever since Coach Bell left, Coach Kessler comes in, takes over.
Good coach.
Tiverton, new coach, Coach Gaychuk coming down from UMass Dartmouth,
Yeah, big difference
taking over
there.
Tiverton. So,
Hey, he had two
yeah,
kids go through the program over there. Had the pleasure of coaching against both of them.
yeah, both his kids, two
Yeah,
hell, like his oldest kid, like that kid put up video game numbers at UMass Dartmouth.
yeah, he was incredible. He was
You
incredible in high
know,
school. The younger one too. I mean, we
yeah,
played in two
Matthew, right?
championships. Yeah, we played in two championships against them, and we're 1-1. They got one and we got one. So yeah,
Absolutely, yeah. So he goes over to Tiverton, but Middletown came out on top, 22-6. Coach B-Ball, man, having his Vikings debut over there now. He's a over at Rogers. Exciting that he was able to bounce back and
shout
get
out to Coach
another
Debo.
job. Absolutely, man. Shout out to Coach B-Ball. But Portsmouth put it to him 27-7. I think Rogers is in a rebuilding year, so it's perfect place for Coach B-Ball to build with them kids,
Yeah,
to get acclimated into the community. So yeah,
he's definitely
so
gonna turn that program around for sure.
you know what? He's a motivator, man.
Yeah,
People love him, parents love him, kids love him.
good man. No,
Yeah,
good man and
absolutely.
good coach, and he will definitely turn that program around. If they trust him and believe in him, he'll be successful there.
And I'm glad he was able to bounce back so fast, not being down for long, not being without a job. And it kind of tells you, what that was. It must have not been much at all. And the other game, man, Burrville and West Warwick, man, that seems like that was a battle because that was the closest game of the night.
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting. And first of all, shout out to Coach Gennaro.
Two old dogs.
My man is we battled when I was in North Smithfield and Burrville was in our division, and they were really good back then. and it's nice to see him across the field once again. Last night, he's one of my real good friends. In this coaching thing that we do. Love that man. They came out on top, man, 13-14. It was a battle. It didn't feel like an injury fun game at all to me. It kind of felt like he's in the middle of the season battling for a spot. Both sides playing with energy and passion and getting after it. And it was a good football game.
Two old dogs. Two old dogs battling
Yeah.
it out, man. And two coaches that have a lot of respect for one another. Two coaches that have a great
For sure.
relationship.
For sure. That's my man. That's my man. And I was just as happy for him, you know what I mean, for his kids. I know they're going into this season, looking at their schedule, it's going to be tough, a battle for them, but hey, I think that and believe that they are going to be a handful for a whole lot of teams in Division 1.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, he does a hell of a job, he keeps his kids, he
For
keeps
sure.
them in there and ready, so to begin that game, you said it was a lot like a regular season game. Was there a running clock? Was it talk about how the clock situation played out?
Yeah, so it was 10-minute quarters, one timeout per half, and a 5-minute half. And the clock did stop on downs. We were told unless the game got out of hand, then it would be running time. But it went by super quick. Uh, like I said, a 5-minute halftime. Um, Couple of drives in a quarter, and the quarter's over. They get a drive, we get a drive, you're into the next quarter. So the game went by super fast. But what was nice about it, and it being better than just 2 quarters, is you get to play 4 quarters of football. So you get a better look at what you have as a football team, and another team gets a better look too at what they have for a football team. So yeah, I think it was 7-6 us at half. And then we came back, and it was the battle to the end, man. And they came out on top, 14-13.
Yeah, and then I don't think anyone scored in the second quarter, the third quarter. They scored 8 in the fourth, and you put it away
Yeah,
with, and you scored 6. So and they got over, 1 point, right?
yeah,
Hell of a
yeah. It
game.
was good. Good game, man. Good game. Yeah, guys were out there playing hard, both sides. Thank God nobody got hurt, so it was a win-win, all the way around.
What did you You say old dogs know how to hunt. Coach Pennington, one of the best. William Lyons, one of our Coventry Ochre. I believe I think he's
Yes,
a
sir.
teacher over there. Shout out
Man.
to Mr. Lyons,
Yeah, shout out to you, Will.
Absolutely. Old dogs know how to hunt. You got that right.
For sure. For
Absolutely.
sure.
So, now you go against a Division One program, a well coached program. Nice way to really see what you like, what you don't like. What didn't you like with your
So
program?
I mean, like everything in games, they made mistakes, we made mistakes. There was some certain points in the game where I felt that maybe we weren't playing with as much energy as we needed to. And I guess it's the first game, so everyone's kind of like settling in a little bit. I just think for us, we made mistakes adjusting and lining up properly. If we can get that done right, because that's half the battle, of being successful is lining up right. And I think we were out, just kind of messed up in our alignments at times, and just like little mental mistakes that we made during the course of the game, which allowed them to get in position to score, things of that nature. You know, um, it's like anything in this game. We didn't expect it to be perfect. We knew that they were going to make mistakes, and they were going to be stuff that we need to work on. And I actually, Mikey, I was thinking about it, and um, last night I was like, man, when's the last time I lost an injury fund game? And it goes back to 2019 when I was in North Smithfield. We lost our injury fund game to Pontiac, and then we went on to be undefeated and win the state championship. So if that's an indication of things to come, then I'll take it.
Yeah, absolutely. And tonight, actually, North Smithfield plays Pontiac. You know, um, And I'm hearing good things about North Smithfield, and I hope so because we need to see something. I'm hoping they have a great season. They have a lot of kids returning, but good luck
Yeah,
to
so
them.
I mean, yeah, and a shout out to Jeff Piva, another good friend of mine, is coaching over there in North Smithfield, and we had a chance to practice with those guys. And they're gonna be okay. They are gonna be okay. As long as they can stay healthy, I think that they are gonna be very competitive in that division for sure.
Yeah, I think they also played with had a practice with Burrville, so two tough teams.
Yep. Yeah, it was actually all three of us practicing together that day. So I think we all got better because of it.
Your quarterback, Corona, if I said his name right, the last 3 seasons, I really been liking a lot of things that he's been doing. With Branch last season, it's tough for people to even really see
Yeah.
what he's been doing. Is he going to stand out this season?
Yeah, I was a little bit taken aback because I think they had him ranked seventh or something in the state at quarterback, but you're gonna see that he is gonna be a difference maker. Last night he actually threw a dot down the sideline for a touchdown to Tyler Scholl. And yeah, I think he's gonna actually surprise a lot of teams this year. I think they totally have him underrated. As a matter of fact, I'm a little taken aback by Eric Rube and Providence Journal because not one kid from my team was picked as a kid that everybody should look at. So I guess we're a team of no names. That's what we're gonna call it as we start our season. We're the no
You're
name
really
team.
taken aback by that. Are you surprised? Are you really surprised? You are undefeated. He picked you to lose against Rogers.
I know it. I know it. He's
I
always picking
mean,
against us. That's fine.
are you surprised?
I am not. I am not surprised.
I mean, it's been like that with you. I don't know what it is, but you know what I mean?
I
It's
don't I
like
don't I don't know what it is. If I've offended you at some point, I apologize. Please forgive me.
it's all right.
But I
Don't
don't
worry
know.
about
I
it,
have no
Eric.
idea what it is, man. He just doesn't like the Wizards, man. That's all right.
It's all
That's
right,
all
man. Stay where you are, Eric. We love the Wizards. We love the Wizards, Shout out to the
right.
Wizards.
Yeah.
You
Amen.
know,
Amen. That's
talented
okay.
program.
That's okay.
Shout out to Eric, man. Shout out to,
Yeah.
everyone's gotta be a dreamer, but yeah, man, I love what you did the last couple of seasons, back to back Super Bowls in different divisions, you know. Um and I know thinking about going to another Super Bowl is way, way too early in a very competitive division. South Kingstown,
Correct.
Westerly, East Providence,
Middletown. Yeah.
Middletown, a lot
Yeah.
of good programs, good division too. And I think teams are gonna have to play harder to get better.
Correct. And for us this year, um, if we do get there, we're gonna have to stay healthy, and we're gonna have to. I think we have probably the toughest schedule to do it because we have to go to East Providence, we have to go to Middletown, we have to go to SK, we have to go to Westerly. So we're gonna have to win some big games on the road. So it's gonna be tough sledding. But hey, we're up for it. And we'll do our best and see how the chips fall.
Yeah, we have you Friday, September 12th at East Providence. That's a 6 p.m. game, and then you're traveling to Pawtucket, you know, um, we get to see how that goes. Now you lost a game because you had back to back Tolman and Shea on your schedule. How did they compensate for that?
Yeah, so we ended up picking up Lincoln. So we're on the road to East Providence, then we're home for the Tolman Shea game, and then we're home again for Lincoln, I believe. And then we go on the road to Middletown. Oh, and then I think Portsmouth comes to us. Then we go to South Kingstown. Then I think Mount Pleasant comes to us, and then we go to Westerly.
So on the 19th, they had you scheduled. Well, they had you. Oh yeah, they had both for the 19th. I see. Okay, all right. And then the 26th, Lincoln. And yeah, you end the season in Westerly. Spooky game Halloween. You know, I've been saying ever since I seen the schedule that game looks spooky.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. It has the potential to be a very interesting game for the 31st. You know, and everyone's like, yeah, so are you circling that game? And I circle every game because to me, every game is important, and I look at week by week how we go and what we're doing. But that game could line up to be something special, but only time will tell. We'll see. Shout out to Ed.
Absolutely, yeah. Shout out to Eddie Itzko over there at North Smithfield. You know, but no, I think that game could throw a wrench in the entire division, dependent with the RPIs. I think they straightened it out a lot, so I think you're gonna see a lot closer this season. Yeah, that game could really throw a monkey wrench in the
It
entire
did. It did
division.
last year. It did last year. It mattered for who was going to be home in that first round, in that semifinal game of the playoffs, between us and them, and they beat us by 3. So we had to go down there last year for the semifinals. We managed to pull that game off in Westerly. So it'll be fun. It's a great environment. When we go up to Westerly, we love playing there because hey, they pack it in. It's loud. It's good, man. It's good high school football, man. That's what it's all about. And if you're gonna if you're gonna play in some meaningful games, and you're gonna really kind of things that you can look back on your career when you get older as a high school football player. It's those games that you can look back on and be like, wow, man, that was big. It was packed, it was loud, and you got to go in there and play some good football, and you came out on top. Those games you never forget.
Now, Wesley is going to be one place you won't have to worry about the visiting team on the visitor side, the home side,
Yeah,
because
true.
of a rule change. But I say, is that not one of the hottest places to win? I mean, it's loud no matter where you are in that place.
Yeah, it is a super hard place to go into and play and win. And hey, kudos to Wesley Bulldogs for creating an environment like that. And it's good, and they play well at home. So you have to be ready to go, and you have to get after it, man. And you got to be together to go in there and get a win.
Yeah, shout out to Stevie Clark. He said Rhode Island needs to go to 3 divisions. 4 is too many for this state. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's interesting. Only thing is, I think that if we went to 3, then we would be forfeiting those smaller high schools that just can't compete with the bigger schools. So we have to look out for them because we don't want any high schools to lose their programs. I mean, I know when I was in North Smithfield, we had a season where we couldn't finish because we didn't have enough players because of injuries and things of that nature. So when you put small schools like that into bigger divisions where they got to play against teams that guys get hurt, you can lose those programs totally, and you don't want to do that. But we got to figure it out though, where it can be done somehow equitably, where teams can have an opportunity to grow, as well as the teams that should be able to compete with each other can compete with each other, and at the same time have a respectable Division 1 where you have enough teams there that it can be a respectable division where every team has an opportunity to potentially play for a state championship.
I mean, and like I heard there's talk about going 6 teams in next year's Division 1. We have 40 something schools. I never been a fan of a small Division 1. I think we have to play harder. Now they're gonna do 6 teams in the state championship, and the other 4 teams will compete for the Division 1 championship. But I don't know if 6 teams is the way to go going forward, and for the Division 1. I just think maybe
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know
I
how do you
imagine.
fix it. I don't know what you
Yeah,
do.
I would
You can't
imagine
get
like.
kids out there to play. Mount Pleasant got a co-op. It's like kids
Yeah,
don't want to come out.
that's the thing. And I would imagine it's not easy for the Interscholastic League to try to figure it out where they feel everybody's being treated fairly. So it is something that's probably gonna, it's gonna affect. It's always a realignment always affects. It affects those teams that are like at the top of their division. If you're in Division Two, a Division Three, or Division Four, that you could potentially get bumped up to a higher division. And most times, especially with the public schools, the reason why you're successful is you've had a class come through that was really good. And so that allowed you to be successful for a couple of years. And then that class graduates just when they bump you up into a higher division, and then you suffer for a few years. So, that's always the struggle. I think they need to look at. I agree with what Gennaro said the other day. I would agree with them looking at it going 50% enrollment and then 50% success level.
Yeah, and he said that's how it was, back when he started coaching, when they had horse and wagon. It was no, shout out to Coach Ferraro, man. I love that dude.
Yeah, that's my
You
guy.
want to kill me for that? Yeah, nah, he's awesome. He great people. What do they say? Salt of the earth, salt of the
Yeah,
earth.
good man. Really good man. Yeah.
Absolutely. I always thought salt was bitter when I used to hear salt of the earth. I thought it was like a bad thing.
But I agree. I mean, I think that, you have to look at the size of the school. Like, you can't punish a school that has a low enrollment, but because they have a great program, you know what I mean? They're successful. They're doing the right things. They're in the weight room. Their coaching is good, so they're successful. You can't punish them by pushing them up into a division where now they got to compete, with a school that's twice their size or three times their size. That's just not really fair. And those schools that are bigger, they got to figure out a way to recruit and get those kids on the field so that they can compete, instead of them going down to smaller divisions. And, it's just kind of, yeah, it's kind of a weird scenario. But I think the way that they could really fix it is if they go 50%, 50%.
Yeah, we'll see if they will do that. I'm not sure they will, but yeah, a little bit about there's some games going on today. I don't want to hold you all day, so let's talk about them a little. EWG and Charahoe, two teams that are probably, looking to rebuild. Coach Slam it down here in Charahoe, I believe, if he's still there, and a new coach at EWG.
Yeah,
So
that'll be interesting to see how those teams face each other and come out. These are always it's always interesting because every coach kind of approaches the injury fund a little bit differently. So really too, it depends on how the coach is approaching it. If they're approaching it just to see guys in different scenarios and situations, so they're not really looking to try to win it. They're just looking to kind of see who can play and who wants to play and things of that nature. Some guys go into it that way. Some guys go into it with an idea to win. So it depends. What they're looking for. Because I've seen teams that in the injury fund you would see them play, and you're like, man, those guys are going to struggle. And then they come out, the next week, and they're just like this machine that's taking off. So it depends on what the coach is looking at and how they're looking.
Well, is that your opportunity to say, all right, let's try, third down plays, situational plays. Let's try, situational football.
Exactly. And also too, like, those question mark kids where you're not sure if they can help you or not. It's a great opportunity to see, hey, can this kid help me this season? Are they ready or are they not ready? So you can get them in for a couple of plays. And, unfortunately, you put them in for a couple of plays, it could be those plays that cost you. But, when you do that, you have to do it with the mindset that, if we don't win this, it's not going to be a big deal. I'm just looking to get my team ready for the season.
And with the RPI where everything's down to 2 points, you're like every win is crucial.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, but the injury fund doesn't matter, man. And it's too bad for us because we play a Division I team. I would love to get those RPI points, but we're not going to get those points for playing Burrillville. But yeah, I mean, it's a great opportunity to see what you have on the sideline and who's going to be able to help you this season and who's not. Yeah, thanks, Steve. West Warwick football is exciting, man. We're going to be more exciting this year. Trust
No,
me.
it has been exciting. But then you have these other teams like, you know, Pilgrim's playing an out of state game, Westerly's playing out of state game. I believe them are point games. I don't think them are injury fun games.
Yeah, I mean, it's
If I'm
curious.
not mistaken.
I'm curious to understand how they're not playing in the injury fund. Did they opt out the injury fund, which means they're not participating, or are they still contributing to the injury fund? I don't know. I guess that's a question for
Well,
Gennaro.
no,
It's not a
because
question
they're
for me.
they're playing out of state, so the injury fund's about getting that gate money, right? So the money can be donated to the injury fund. So but from what I understand, that the other team is not associated with RAIL, and you're playing
At
their
their field,
state rules, so it's not
right?
Rhode Island rules. So yeah, so I believe, you know, um, them teams are looking to grab them points. Because if I know like Jordan Husserl over on Westerly, he's a statistician. He knows that RPI front and back. And one thing I learned last year: a loss is a win. A loss isn't
Yeah,
always a
for sure,
loss.
for sure.
You
For
get
sure,
them
you could
points
find
on the
yeah, you
back
can find
end.
yourself behind a team having a better record, but because they played a tougher schedule, they have more points than you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we've
that
seen
that
it.
definitely could happen for sure.
We've seen teams that it's like, how did they get seated ahead of them? And because your opponent's win percentage. People didn't realize you're getting points on the back end. You play a team like Hendricken and you lose to them. It's all right because Hendricken's going to go on and win, and you're going to get opponent win percentage.
Right,
So you're going to
right,
get points as Hendricken gets better, their opponent win percentage gets better. So
correct.
it's actually smart. So now we have North Smithfield and Pontiac. You know, uh, you know, your former team. Coach Piper over there. I like his chances, man. I
All
I
right, go
I think
Northman. Let's go.
that's right. Let's go. So SK and Narragansett. Um, so SK Super Bowl. Division II Super Bowl champions
Yep,
playing
yep,
Narragansett.
yep. Good coach. Good coach. Both good coaches. For both
Yeah.
those teams.
Then you have
Always very competitive in Narragansett as well as SK. So that should be a good game.
absolutely, and then we have Woonsocket and St. Ray's. Woonsocket coming with a new staff.
Yeah, I don't know. Rumors are that St. Ray's is loaded, so I don't
We'll
know what's gonna happen
see.
here, but we'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
They have their returning quarterback coming back. Nelson Martinez got an NIL deal. Their backup quarterback. So we'll see how loaded they are. I mean, they're right
Yeah,
there. They seem to figure out the formula. You know, Christian Sermos, assistant coach over there, Ray Martinez. So they got some people that surround Sassy. Sassy has some good people around him.
for sure, for sure.
Sassy's been doing it a long, long time. He's been at this a while, Sassy, huh?
Yeah, he's been at it a while too. He's been around. He's been around, so he does a good job with his
Another
program over
old
there.
dog.
Yeah, he does a good job. There's some coaches in the state that have like really done a really good job year in and year out with their programs. Chris over there at Classical.
Classical.
Yeah, Chris McCoy at Classical. He's been there for a long time, man. Just year in, year out, just putting out good products. There's another good dude, good friend of mine. So yeah, there's some coaches around the state that have been there, old dogs, that are year in, year out, playoff teams, threatening for championships. So yeah, Sassy's one of them.
And Chris McCall probably has got as many kids in college. Well, I don't know about as Hendricken, but I know he's gotten a lot of kids into college through the football program and
Yeah.
Classical.
Yeah, Chris works hard, also with recruitment and getting his kids recognized and getting them out there. So that's another. I think that's a shout out to just him being a good coach and a good guy. Caring about his players.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, that's right. The Oakers play the Saints on next week. That's really that's always been a tough matchup for week one. You know, you go right into the den
Wow.
and you face a team like the Saints.
Yeah, hey, but they're getting those points though, Mike. They're getting those points, and you know the Saints are going to go on to play and be. They're going to be decent, man, in their division, in that Division One. So hey, you're getting those points, man.
It's
You might
really a
get,
win. Yeah,
yeah,
win or lose,
exactly,
you're getting points. So
exactly. So that's
yeah,
kind of smart of them.
absolutely.
You know, it doesn't seem
You
smart,
know.
but it's very smart of them. You know, to go in there, play
Yeah,
those guys.
absolutely. Pilgrim's traveling out of state playing Seekonk. You know, Blake's been at it a long time with Pilgrim, you know, definitely Blake's gonna be doing this. He's gonna be an old timer, you know, doing this. I see Blake being, you know,
Yeah, he's gonna be around a while, so he'll
I
he'll
believe
he'll he'll be an old dog before you know it too. He's close to it now.
he's
He
one
ain't
of the
pushing young
reps,
guys
right,
anymore.
for the coaches
Yeah.
association, I believe. Or he was a rep for the coaches association. But nah, Blake's been doing this a while. Um He had a kid, like his son got big so fast. His kid, you know. But Coventry and Cranston West, is that game going? Is that accurate? Yeah, I believe so. Coventry's gonna be playing
Is that
Cranston
injury fund?
West.
Injury fund?
Yeah, that's what it
Yeah.
says. Yeah, 7 p.m. game. Yeah.
All right.
Um,
All right.
LaSalle's gonna be playing Boston College High School.
That'll be a good
Um,
one.
you know, another out of state game. You know,
Yeah, that'll be a good one.
and you have Westerly traveling to Situate Sailors. You know, so we'll see how that one goes. And that one I think is on 321. Well, I always think 321 Contact, the old PBS show. You know, but yeah, it's gonna be on one of the streaming platforms, 321 Media.
Mm.
You
That's
know?
gonna be a good game. Because you know, the Boston schools usually, you know, I mean, I remember when I was in high school, we played Catholic Memorial, and that was like, man, like we played a couple out of state teams that were just incredibly good. We played team from Connecticut. I can't think of the name of it right now, but they were like ridiculously good. Yeah, so
All right, Coach, man. Thank you. Good luck. Your
thank you,
next
sir.
game would be on the 12th, right?
Yep, heading to East Providence. Gonna see East Providence in their place on the 12th, and looking forward to it. You know, a good program. It'll be a good game. You know, so you know we're gonna go and give it our best and see what happens.
And that night after the game, we'll have you back here and we'll talk all about it. You know, see if you come out with the victory. East Providence,
Yeah,
they have everything. They have a beautiful facility up there. You know, you hear nothing but great things about that program.
yeah.
You
That'll
know,
be another great environment to play in, Mike. You know, they get a good crowd up there as well. It's a nice field, nice facility. So yeah, you know, I enjoy playing in those environments. You know, I always did when I was a player, you know, and I do now as a coach. You know, so you know, hopefully we go in and play well. We'll see what happens.
I told Coach Fortin that he said, I want to stay involved in football somehow. I said, why don't you do a podcast going to concession stands, going to all the football games and go
The
to the
best concession.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? That would probably be a real good one, actually. You know, that's probably a good idea. You know,
Hey,
and
hey, you know that's a huge thing now, man. Being a foodie, you know,
yeah,
people will watch for sure.
what's that gangster from Detroit? He has a food channel, Trick Daddy.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
Trick. I'm like, look at this, man.
yeah. He's
Podcasting is becoming, that's where everybody is seeing, that's where the money's at
yep, yep.
now on a big level, like big money in
Uh,
podcast. Everyone wants to
I
be a podcaster
I
now.
can see Cliff too walking up. We're here in West Warwick, and we're going to check out their concession stand and see what they
Well,
got.
I think that would be right up his alley. I said, look, you get to see the games and you get to eat.
There you
Two
go.
things you love, you know, because he was spotted coaching Cranston East on a scrimmage. And I was like, whoa, what's going on? And he said
Really?
that he just wanted to see if, you know, if he still had the feel for it. And I was like, interesting.
That is interesting. That is interesting. Oh, another good friend of mine, Jimmy Cook over there, man. He's always got something cooking, Jimmy. He's always got something cooking.
Jimmy Cook's like I said, what is Jimmy Cook, the guy that takes in all the coaches? You know what I mean? He got Alejandro over there. He got Cliff. Come here, son. Come here.
Yeah, I'm actually glad Alejandro's over there with him, because it's gonna help him grow more and
Absolutely.
get his
Salute
confidence
to
and
him.
come back, man. Come back to being a head coach, man. The sport's for you. Come back, man. It's just time. That's all it is.
Yeah, you know what? I said that when I started even talking about the Alejandro stuff, and it started way before Coventry, really. Sometimes not everybody's ready to be a head coach. It's not easy. It's not like it's
Not
all
easy.
X's and O's. You got so many moving parts.
So true.
And
So
even when
true.
you're winning, it's going bad. It's like, why is my phone ringing? Why is everyone complaining? Did we win last night? It's going bad. So
Yeah.
it's like, you know what? I'm sure Alejandro figure it out later on. Go back, try it again. I just think, it was just my opinion, and my opinion was pretty right. At that point, he wasn't ready. He wasn't
Yeah.
ready at Shea. He wasn't ready at Coventry, and I know he's going through some personal things. So hopefully, I'm glad he's over there with his father-in-law. Shout out to him, man. I got no no problem against him, but you know me,
Yeah,
I try
Alejandro's a
to
good coach, man. He's just
I keep it
he's a good
100,
coach.
man.
Yeah,
You
he's a good
know,
coach. He's just in a situation that, didn't work out for him. But, he's in a good place, in Cranston East, and he'll grow and he'll get another opportunity down the road for
it's
sure.
a tough place to coach. I mean,
Mm.
Coventry, it is what it is. They got a tough administration. Good program, great wrestling program. You know, but we'll see what Coventry does this week. I'm interested to see.
That'd be good
You
to watch and
know,
see, yeah, for
absolutely,
sure.
man. Shout out to all the programs. I want everyone to be safe. Shout out to Emerson Kilgore, 401 Strength and Fitness. If you're looking for,
And what's up?
a trainer that did it at that D1 level in multiple sports,
For
Emerson,
sure.
his gym is definitely where to go. He's on the 400 block of Warwick Ave behind Dunkin' Donuts. But
Yeah,
yeah,
and if I
shout
could
out
give a
to
shout out
Emerson.
to Mike, if I give a shout out to all the coaches, hey, good luck this season. Hopefully everybody, stays healthy and there's a lot of good competition, and everybody gets after it, man. So good luck everybody.
And also, big praise to the UMass Dartmouth football player Kevin Brown, who was in a horrible motorcycle accident
Oh
the
wow.
first couple of days of
Hmm.
camp, and just has some just he needs prayers,
Yeah.
warriors everywhere, But prayers to him. Be careful on these motorcycles, man. Like
Yeah, for sure.
especially
We lift
them
them up.
them race rockets. Be careful on
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
Prayers to Kevin
Wow.
Brown.
Prayers for
Prayers
Kevin.
to everyone going through trials and tribulations. But
Yes,
and
sir.
everyone be safe. Yeah, let's get through this football season.
Yeah.
Safe.
And
Everyone.
if you're looking for a church home, come to Rally Point Church, 197 Providence Street in West Warwick, Rhode Island. At the VFW, come on up. We meet at 10 o'clock in the morning. Love to see you there. Yeah,
Oh,
bless you.
absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have to start pushing that. Yeah, I think more people need to go to church, me included. Um,
For sure.
Absolutely. But yeah, shout out, get to church. Mothers Against Drunk Driving on the 13th,
13th,
right?
we have our walk. Yes, sir. 9 o'clock is registration at the Warwick City Park in Warwick. Come on out. Like I said, it's $25 to walk, and it's for a super, super great cause. So hope to see you there. If you do, come and introduce yourself to me.
And Coach Penn said he challenges all you coaches out there. Bring your kids. Let's go. Line them up. We're
Let's
gonna
go.
run for a good cause.
That's it.
No, he didn't say that. I said it, but it's a great cause. Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Try to put a stop to that. But thank you, Coach.
Thank you for having me, Mike.
All right,
Appreciate you.
anytime. My man, Coach Penn. Let me get me back up here. Coach Pennington, shout out to him. Appreciate everybody today for stopping in. Big shout out, to Najee Barrows. Go check him out. Big shout out to Emerson Kilgore. All the new guys, in college football. Mike Garafolo over there with Bridgewater. Julio Adano, shout out to him over there with Bridgewater. Some new guys over there at UMass Dartmouth. Not familiar with their names. URI had a game. I'm sure they'll figure what's going on over there. But yeah, big shout out, man. A lot of good games. Where we have EWG, Charahoe, North Smithfield, Pownell, SK, and Narragansett, Woonsocket, and St. Ray's. All right, people, man. Appreciate everything, and we'll talk soon. Let us know what the scores are later.
Ready to dominate the field? Join Beast Coast Football Factory. Led by top coach Najee Barrows, we elevate your game at all levels. What we offer: expert training, unique techniques and drills, affordable rates, $25 per session, $40 for two. Don't miss your chance to work with the best. Contact Beast Coast Football Factory.
Are you dreaming of the perfect home? Your dream home doesn't have to be just a dream. Whether you're looking to buy or sell, Kathy Foisey from HomeSmart Professionals Real Estate is here to make it a reality. Expertise in Rhode Island and Massachusetts, Kathy is ready to guide you every step of the way. Reach out today at 401-486-6587 or email kfoisey1@gmail.com.
That's the bad guy. Bad guy. Bad guy. That's the bad guy. The bad guy.